What's up, guys? We're back with a full slate of MLB action here on Thursday, July 31st. We're going to give out plays on every MLB game on the slate. I'll give you my favorite underdog pick of the day and my massive lock, my pick that regardless of price, I think is the highest chance of cashing today. Slam that like button and subscribe to the channel if you want to keep seeing these videos every single day, and let us know what you're thinking in the comments. I personally answer every comment every single day. Check the pinned comment throughout the day to see our favorite picks, and it pays to check back a couple of times per day to see if there are any changes with injury news coming out and starters being confirmed. Yesterday, guys, not a banner day, but headed in the right direction for sure. We did get off to a rough start. We had Baltimore there at minus 115. They take the tough 9-8 loss. Kremer was mediocre, but so was Berrios. Both bullpens were terrible. The Toronto bullpen managed to hang on, but with a couple errors and barely holding on for a win, I don't think we can say the Blue Jays are truly out of the woods yet. So still a little bit worried about Toronto. Now, we backed that up with a win. We had the Tigers at minus 135, a nice 7-2 win there for Detroit. The Tigers got a great start there from Paddock. Ryan Nelson wasn't amazing, and a couple errors from Arizona didn't help. Really feels like the Diamondbacks are kind of packing it in, and it also feels like the Tigers might have, I'm not going to say struck gold necessarily, but really made a very good addition there via trade. So we'll see how that works out for them down the stretch. Now, we had the Brewers at minus 125. That was a 10-3 loss behind a terrible start from Peralta. Imanaga wasn't great either, but the Cubs bullpen was lights out, and a couple of home runs from the Cubs definitely helped them blow this thing open. Definitely a lot of trends going by the wayside in that game. Not what I expected to see across the board in that one. So yeah, the Brewers taking the loss there. Not ideal. A heartbreaker again there from the Tampa Bay Rays. We had them at plus 115, sizable underdogs, a 5-4 extra inning loss for the Rays. Once again, they get an early lead before giving it up late in the game and then eventually losing here in this one in the bottom of the 11th. Zach Littell was great in this start. Very, very good stuff from our twin brother out there, but it wasn't quite enough. The Rays bullpen was really, really bad in this one. Will Warren actually managed to pitch his way out of a lot of trouble there for the Yankees, and their generally bad bullpen, or at least, terrible over their last big chunk of games, was very, maybe not very good, that's a bit of an exaggeration, but good enough to get the job done. So a tough loss there on what could have been a sizable underdog win. We did cash our dog of the day, so we hit a nice underdog play on the Marlins at plus 125. That was a 2-0 win there from Miami. Quantrill gave up only 3 hits and 0 runs over his 5 innings, and the bullpen picked up right where he left off, helping throw a combined shutout. Michaelis wasn't as bad as he normally is, but the offense didn't show up there for St. Louis. So yeah, the Cardinals continue to struggle. The Marlins playing some pretty decent baseball, an actually respectable team this year. Gotta tip your hat to them. Now, we still have the Rangers going right now. They're live at minus 130 as our massive lock of the day. We've been desperately needing a win on the massive lock of the day, the worst streak in its history, but it looks like this is going to be a win. We got an excellent start from Eovaldi. Soriano was good, but the Angels bullpen is terrible, and the offense really hasn't gotten going here. Right now, guys, the Rangers are up 6-1 in the bottom of the 8th inning, so let's hope that we can eventually pencil that one in for a win. Now, looking at our slate here on Thursday, kind of crazy, only 3 games on the entire MLB slate. So we're going to do a deep dive on each one of these games, break them down, find the best value here on a very, very short slate. But obviously, guys, only 3 games. This is a little bit of an off day, so let's not go nuts. There's only 3 options out there. So let's go ahead and dive right into our first game of the day. That's the Tampa Bay Rays going on the road here to take on the New York Yankees. The Rays come into this game not having the best time in the world out there. They're all the way 9.5 games back in the AL East. They've lost, what is it up to now, 6 of their last 7 games, and they've lost a lot of 1-run games in that stretch. So it's been pretty brutal recently here for the Rays. They're going to try and get some sort of a bounce back going here. They're 1 game below 500 on the season, so they've got a lot of work to do. They're going to hand the ball here to young Ryan Pepiot. He's 6-8 on the year, a 3.42 ERA. His last time on the mound, he was very good there in Cincinnati. 6 innings, 2 hits, 2 runs allowed. Neither of them were earned, though. He did walk 4 and struck out 6, and was eventually a 6-2 loss. Can't really say that was 100% his fault. Now, he hasn't been completely lights out over his last 5 starts, but he's definitely been good enough that you would expect to see a better record than 1-4 there for the Rays over those 5 starts. So we'll see if he can get a little bit of run support here. Obviously, Pepiot has had a pretty decent, but definitely not elite season, but I think he's progressing in the right direction. He's a young guy. I think we could see even more growth from him in subsequent seasons. Now, in terms of his history this year against the Yankees, he actually hasn't faced them since back in early May, and he was okay. 4 1/3 innings, 5 hits, 2 earned runs. Isn't exactly great. Also, Tampa Bay lost that game 3-0. He also faced them back in April. He was pretty good. 6 innings, 6 hits, 3 runs. All of them were earned and gave up a couple home runs and a 4-0 loss. So we'll see if Pepiot can throw the ball a little bit better, see if he can get a little bit more run support here. But I mean, I don't know. It's getting a little bit hard to back these Tampa Bay Rays. They keep losing these super close games. And one of the reasons they've been struggling a bit here down the stretch is the bullpen is looking less and less good. A 3.88 bullpen ERA, while not horrendous, is definitely not looking like the elite bullpen that we saw at some other points this season. So I'm certainly starting to feel more and more concerned right now about that Tampa Bay Rays bullpen. And an even bigger concern than that is they're kind of struggling at the plate still. It's getting a little bit better. 4, 5, 4, 1, 2, 2, and 9 over their last several games. Doesn't look horrendous, obviously. Over the course of the year, they're 10th in runs scored. They're currently, 5th in batting average, batting .255 as a team. Their on-base percentage numbers are slightly above 500. They're slightly above average. Their, slugging percentage numbers are right there around MLB average. So this isn't necessarily a super scary power team. They've got some real bats there in this lineup, don't get me wrong. They've got some guys with some pop. They've got some scary bats out there. They do a decent job of, hitting the ball, but they just don't really find a way to get that many runs across the plate, and they're not swinging the hottest bats right now, and you need to be heating up this time of year. So we'll see what they can do here in Yankee Stadium. It's going to be game 4 of this series. The Yankees looking to win the series 3-1 here, handing the ball to Marcus Stroman. They're hoping, they're 10 games above 500. They're 4 games back of Toronto. They're still very much alive here in the race for the AL East. So we'll see what Stroman can do to help them out. He's 2-2 on the year, a 6.09 ERA, so hasn't exactly had the dream season. His last time on the mound, he really struggled against the Phillies. 3 2/3 innings, 5 hits, 4 earned runs allowed, and a 9-4 loss. We'll see what he can do here against Tampa Bay. He had, a couple decent starts before that. He's had a very weird season, though. Has missed a bunch of time. Really hasn't made that many starts. I mean, how many starts is he sitting on right now? 8? So this is going to be his 9th start of the year on July 31st. That's not how you draw it up. He hasn't faced Tampa Bay this year, so no history to lean on there, but we'll see what Stroman looks like in this game. Obviously, in a bit of a bounce-back spot, he'll be pitching at home. We'll see if that helps or hurts him. That doesn't seem to have made a huge difference here for him recently. Now, regardless of what we get from Stroman, we're going to need to see that Yankees bullpen continue to look better. It was good for most of the year, guys, but recently it's been terrible all the way up to, what is it at now? A 4.24 bullpen ERA. That is not really getting the job done kind of stuff. Not what you're hoping to see if you're a Yankees fan. That has to be pretty disturbing news. And, obviously this is a team that's dealing with some pretty serious injury trouble at the moment that's making the offense a lot less potent. You can't lose a guy like Aaron Judge and expect there to be no consequences. They've scored 5, 7, 2, 4, and 4 runs over their last few games. Obviously, missing Judge hurts. They're still 3rd in the majors in runs scored, 8th in batting average, 1st in slugging percentage, and 2nd in on-base percentage. But when your lineup is missing a guy like that, you're obviously, going to have some struggles out there, They've still got a pretty reasonable lineup out there, don't get me wrong, but it's definitely not looking quite as elite. Stanton not really going nuts this year. He struck out 3 times yesterday, went 1 for 5. I don't know. He did have RBI mixed in there, so maybe I shouldn't be too hard on the guy. But looking at the numbers for this game, the odds makers have this pretty close to a flip. The Rays are -105. The Yankees are -115. We've got a total of 8.5. Tampa Bay is 23-27 on the road. 29, 20, and 1 to the under on the road. The Yankees are 33-22 at home, 31, 22, and 2 to the under at home. Given these numbers here, guys, maybe you could lean towards the under 8.5, maybe under in the first 5 innings would be a little bit more palatable, but I don't necessarily love either one of those spots, especially given what we've seen from these 2 starters lately. In terms of a side, obviously, on a 3-game slate, we're going to have to give some sort of serious lean on the side in every single game. And in this particular spot, guys, I think we've got to lean just slightly towards the Yankees here. I don't necessarily love it. Keep in mind, this is a short slate. Nobody should be going broke on a 3-game slate. But I do think, we're going to want to lean a bit here towards the Yankees. I think we'll see Stroman do okay. I haven't loved what I've seen from the Rays here down the stretch. That's been, a very concerning slide from this team. That's got to be a huge momentum killer to lose in extras last night. So give me the Yankees playing at home in this one. Next on the docket, we've got the Atlanta Braves going on the road here to take on the Cincinnati Reds. The Braves are having a terrible season. They're 45-62 overall. Definitely not a team that's going to be achieving any of the goals it set out to achieve this season. A lot has gone wrong for them. They haven't had quite the offense they had hoped for, especially the rotation has been a big disappointment, not getting nearly the kind of production they would have hoped for from a lot of those young arms. Now, they come into this game fresh off a 1-0 loss there in their last game of the series against the Royals. They lost 2 out of 3 in that series. They're going to hand the ball in this game to Carlos Carrasco. He's 2-2 on the year, a 5.91 ERA. His last outing was a bullpen outing, 3 innings, 5 hits, 2 earned runs against Tampa Bay. His outing before that was a start against Baltimore. We got absolutely shelled over 3 1/3 innings. It's just been pretty tough going here for Carlos Carrasco. Now, I'm talking about these starts. These are not recent. These happened in April and May. This is going to be his first big league action since May 4th, where he got, not very a successful start there against the Tampa Bay Rays. This 38-year-old back in the big leagues. We'll see what he can do here for the Braves, who I think really just want him to eat up some innings here. So we'll see what happens with Carrasco on the mound. I'm not expecting miracles from this guy. Now, he's a veteran. He's got experience. He could go out there and use, those wily veteran skills to do something impressive, but I'm not going to be holding my breath for that. And if Carrasco can't go super deep into this game, that's also a concern because these Braves... The Braves' bullpen has not been very good recently. A 4.13 bullpen ERA, certainly not filling me with tons of optimism. They've been decent at some points this year, but overall, it's been a bit of a struggle, kind of like everything for this Atlanta Braves team, if we're being honest, guys. There's a reason they're 45-62 on the year. Part of that's been their lack of offense. Now, they've hit the ball a little bit better recently. I know it's weird to say after when they're coming off a shutout, but they did score a total of 16 runs over those 3 games, so that doesn't look quite so bad. They're currently 23rd in the majors in runs scored. They're 21st in batting average, 19th in slugging percentage, 15th in on-base percentage. This team's dealt with some injuries. We've seen a good year for Matt Olson at least, but good seems almost a little bit generous. He's got 18 home runs. He's batting .261. Not the kind of guy that you can trust to, carry your entire offense. And that's what they've needed from him this year, basically. So, yeah, a lot of red flags here surrounding this Atlanta Braves team. And it might be a white flag at this point because I don't think they've got a lot of hope left for this season. So we'll see what they do here on the road against the Cincinnati Reds, a team that definitely has plenty of hope for this season. They are actually right now, or maybe like a half hour ago, finalizing a trade to acquire Zach Littell from the Tampa Bay Rays. So my twin brother in a trade. Very interesting to see Zach Littell heading there to Cincinnati. Seems like the Reds kind of going for it this year. And at 57-52 on the year, they're currently 7.5 games back there in the NL Central. Now, in terms of the wild card situation for the Reds, it's much more playable. Right now, guys, they are sitting, where are they at? Yeah, they're only 3 games back of the Padres for the last wild card spot. I think the Reds see themselves as a team that could definitely make it into the wild card. So we'll see if that can happen. They're going to hand the ball in this game to Andrew Abbott. He's been very helpful this year. 8-1 on the year, a 2.09 ERA. His last start, he dominated the Tampa Bay Rays. 6 innings, 2 hits, 1 earned run. Yeah, he's been lights out this season. Struck out 7 and walked 3 in that game as well. He's been very, very good. We'll see what he looks like here against these Atlanta Braves. I'm not sure if he faced them back in early May, and he was very good. 5 innings, 4 hits, 8 strikeouts, and no walks. In a game, the Reds eventually managed to lose 2-1 in extra innings. So, yeah, definitely not Andrew Abbott's fault that his team doesn't come away with the win in that one. I'm certainly expecting him to go out there and have a very good outing against the Atlanta Braves team that's been floundering recently. I've not seen a lot of good stuff from the Braves. Andrew Abbott, definitely one of the best pitchers there in the National League. Now, the bullpen for the Reds, it's been a weird story all year long. Now, the very beginning of the season got off to a pretty mediocre start. Then they ended up, rounding into form, becoming one of the best bullpens in the majors. Then a long trek through the valley of struggle because, they sucked there for quite a bit. Now, over their last 20 to 30 games, they've looked significantly better, all the way down to a 3.83 bullpen ERA. Very reasonable stuff there. Definitely not a bullpen that I'm in love with, but not a bullpen that I'm terrified of on a nightly basis. Now, speaking of things I'm terrified of on a nightly basis, I'm always going to be terrified of the Reds struggling at the plate. It's been an issue all year. They've been red hot all the way down to ice cold. They're 11th in the majors in runs scored, but they're 18th in slugging percentage and 16th in batting average despite playing, all of their home games at the Great American Ballpark. You'd think they'd do a little bit better at the plate. They've scored 5, 4, 2, 2, 6, and 7 over their last few games. Nothing too incredible. This is a team that could pop off for 20 runs at the drop of a hat, but that seems a little bit unlikely in this specific spot. But I don't know. I say that they're going up against Carlos Carrasco in the Atlanta Braves bullpen, so maybe they could pop off for 20 runs. I don't think that's too nuts. So, yeah, looking at the entire Reds, lineup, Elly De La Cruz in there definitely makes it a lot more exciting, a lot more interesting. We'll see if they do down the stretch here. But looking at the numbers for this game, the Braves are plus 135. The Reds are minus 160. We've got a total of 9.5 out there. Atlanta's only 19-36 on the road. They are 27-24-4 to the over on the road. The Reds are 32-24 at home. 34-17-5 to the under at home. That's actually an MLB best to the under at home, which is pretty wild considering, the whole great American ballpark thing. But we'll see what happens here, guys. I'm going to definitely be leaning towards the Reds here at minus 160. This is probably going to be our lock of the day. I think they're in very good shape to win this one. It's going to be going in the pin comment one way or the other. You could maybe talk me into getting greedy and taking the Reds here at minus 160, but that's come back to burn us way too many times this season. I think I'll probably just stick with the Reds here straight up. In terms of the total of 9.5, with the Reds being such a huge under team and the Atlanta offense being so underwhelming, I would want to lean towards under 9.5, but with Carlos Carrasco and company on the mound, I worry that the Reds could put up a huge offensive day here. So yeah, the total, I don't have a ton of love for either way. Hey guys, hopping here with a quick shout out to the sponsor of today and every day's video, and that is stumpthespread.com. Click the link in the description to check out all the things we offer over there. Tons of good information there every single day. Right now, our premium members are getting daily MLB and UFC picks, with NFL and college football coming up before you know it. Major League Baseball has been our most profitable sport the last several years in a row, and has had a great 2025 season so far, especially a great July. Things have been red hot, especially in the beginning of July. Finishing things off this month, guys, our premium MLB handicapper, which is not me. We've got a monster over there with many more years of experience covering Major League Baseball. He uses some very sophisticated tools and algorithms, taking a crazy amount of data points into consideration on every single one of these picks, and things worked out great here in July. He ended things up 82-46 on the month, so a very solid winning record, but more importantly, guys, he was plus 53.33 units in the month of July. Winning well over 50 units in a single month is pretty nasty work, guys. That is excellent. Love it. Congrats to our premium capper over there. I hope he's watching this video. You deserve this shout out, man, because it was a crazy good month. Here's to an even better August. Let's hope the dog days of August treat us and everyone else well out there. So definitely get over to stumpthespread.com, check out the premium top confidence picks over there, but also there's free picks over there every single day. There's also a free to use bet size calculator that I encourage everyone to check out and figure out how to use, because it's great information to know and a great way to manage your bankroll. But also, guys, you got to get over there to get on the free email newsletter. It's free information straight to your inbox every single day. In every single email, there will be at least one free pick, oftentimes two free picks. There will be information on niche betting like golf, NASCAR, WNBA is often covered in there as well. And yeah, WNBA has been kind of hot this season, I'm not going to lie. So definitely get on that free email list. All they need you to do is set up a free account, then your name and your email address. That's it. You'll get one email a day. That's all you're going to get. Also, if you're having trouble getting those emails, check your spam folder. Oftentimes, Microsoft or Outlook or whoever's in charge of that will put them in there. But definitely get on that free email list, guys. It's great information every single day. Also, if you're a huge fan of what you're seeing here every single day, sign up for a YouTube channel membership by clicking that little join button right below the video. Channel members here on YouTube get early access to all of our videos, get their name up on screen in every video, and you also get access to our members only giveaways every single week. There's the date right there on the screen. I think it's the 4th this time. It's going to be August 4th. We'll be doing a giveaway of a Stump the Spread Hoodie 2-1 random channel member. So definitely consider signing up if you're interested in getting in on that. But guys, let's go ahead and dive back in. We've only got one more game to break down here on this insanely short Thursday slate, and it's going to be the Texas Rangers going on the road to take on the Seattle Mariners. Right now, at time of recording, the Rangers find themselves wrapped up in a series. They're in Los Angeles taking on the Angels. So they're going to have to go from Los Angeles to Seattle. Not the craziest trip in the world. Now, the Rangers have actually struggled so far in that series, losing the first two in a row, but they're very, very live for us as our lock of the day. They're up 6-3 there the end of the 8th inning. So head into the top of the 9th. Hopefully the Rangers can tack on a couple more runs and make things really, really easy there to end this game. Now, the Rangers at 56 and 52 on the year are actually, I would say, slightly overachieving if you ask me, especially if you look at what they did early in the year. They currently find themselves 5.5 games back in the AL West. They also find themselves currently only a single game back of the Seattle Mariners for the last wild card spot in the American League. So this is a very, very important series for obvious reasons there. So we'll see what the Rangers can do in this one. They're going to be handing the ball here to Kumar Rocker. This young guy came into the season not killing it. Had a really, really rough time right out of the gate. Spent some time on the IL and came back and has looked much, much better. Now, his last time on the mound wasn't great. 4 innings, 5 hits, 3 earned runs against the Atlanta Braves. We did see the Rangers eventually win that game 6-5 in extras, but it was not Kumar Rocker's fault. That was a big letdown after a great start there against Detroit, but he's going to have a great start here against the Mariners. Now, the last time he faced Seattle was back on June 28th. He was very good. 6 innings, 4 hits, only 2 earned runs allowed in a game we eventually saw the Rangers, once again a very close game, win 3-2. So we'll see what he can do here pitching in Seattle. That the last start against the Mariners was at home. This one's going to be on the road. I'm expecting pretty good stuff from here from Kumar Rocker. I think it's a good bounce back spot for the young guy, and I think we will see him do just that. Now, the Rangers bullpen's been fantastic all year long. That's not major breaking news, guys. A 3.34 bullpen ERA is obviously excellent, and they've been very steady throughout the season. Not a lot of oscillation there in terms of bullpen strength. It's been good all year long. The thing that has been a little bit of a bugaboo here for the Rangers is their overall lack of offense. They're currently 22nd in runs scored, 27th in batting average, batting .232 as a team, 27th in on base percentage, getting on base at a .301 clip. Just not a lot of massive positives here for the Rangers. I think they would love to find a way to, bolster this lineup a little bit. I don't know if they're going to be able to do that. We'll see what happens. They have been hitting the ball considerably better here down the stretch. 6 runs in their current game, 5, 4, 8, 6, 8, 2, and 6 over their last few is pretty hot hitting for a team with those kind of season-long numbers. So we'll see what they can do here on the road. They're taking on a Mariners team that they obviously, really need to find success against. Seattle's only 4.5 games back of Houston there in the race for the AL West. Like we were just saying, guys, they're holding on to that last wild card spot out there in the American League. So we'll see how that goes for them down the stretch. But yeah, this is a very, very important series. We'll see what they can do here. They're going to hand the ball in this game to George Kirby, who's 5-5 on the year, a 4.50 ERA. The Mariners are also going to be traveling for this game, just for the record. They're going to be going from Sacramento to Seattle. Once again, not a very strenuous trip. Now, George Kirby comes into this game 5-5 on the year, a 4.50 ERA. His last start was against the Angels, and he was very good. 6 innings, 5 hits, 2 earned runs, 9 strikeouts, and a 7-2 win. A nice bounce back after a couple of rough outings. Wasn't great against the Brewers, and then wasn't great against Detroit before that, but we'll see what he does here going up against the Texas Rangers. Not a team he's faced this season, so I'm a little bit worried about George Kirby out there. We'll see how things go for him, but, another young pitcher. Inconsistency is kind of the name of the game when it comes to a young guy out there on the mound. Also, George Kirby, not that deep into his season overall. When you look at how many games he started in total, what is it, 12? 12 starts so far. His season didn't start until May 22nd, coming off the IL there. So we'll see which version of George Kirby we get here. We'll see which version of the Mariners bullpen. They've been really good at some points this year, but I don't know, just slightly below the upper echelon. A 3.73 bullpen ERA here at time of recording. Not necessarily elite level stuff. The offense, while it's looked elite at some points this year, has been pretty cold down the stretch, or at least pretty inconsistent. Now, they put up 3 runs in their current game, won the game before that, 3 the game before that, and 1 the game before that. So swinging some kind of lukewarm to cold bats. Obviously, Cal Raleig's had an amazing season. 41 home runs, batting .260 on the year with 87 RBIs is amazing. He's been a large part of the reason why this team is, well above average in terms of their overall offense, because last year was a disaster. This year, way better. 12th in runs scored, 17th in batting average, 12th in on base percentage, getting on base at a .321 clip. This team is much more respectable at the plate this season. So we'll see if that's going to translate into success here in the dog days of summer. Now, looking at the numbers, guys, the Rangers are plus 135. The Mariners are minus 155. We've got a total of 7.5 out there. The Rangers are 22-32 on the road, 27, 26, and 1 to the under on the road. The Mariners are 28-24 at home, 25, 23, and 4 to the over at home. Guys, this is a 3-game slate, and we have to find a dog of the day somewhere. And if you're asking me for one, I think the underdog that I like the most today is going to be the Texas Rangers at plus 135. I think they've got a pretty solid chance to win this game on the road here against the Mariners. George Kirby, while he could go out there and strike out like 12 or 13 dudes, could still find a way to give up 2 or 3 runs. That might be all the Rangers need if they get an on kind of start there from Kumar Rocker and a good day from, one of the best bullpens in the majors. So definitely think the Rangers are very, very live at plus 135 as our dog of the day. Now, in terms of the total, I don't have a big lean. I would maybe even shade just a hair towards over, but not a game where the total really has that much appeal to me with these two teams out there. Guys, unfortunately, that's all the games we have here on a very short Thursday slate. Hit that like button for good luck on all of your bets. Subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. Let me know in the comments any questions you have on today's slate. I'm more than happy to get back to you. I appreciate everyone watching these videos. You can click the link in the description to check out stumpthespread.com. Check out all the free picks over there. Definitely check out the premium picks that have had such an amazing July overall so far. So definitely check out those. And hey, you might want to get on the books there for what will hopefully be a very profitable August. But guys, that's all we got for this one. We'll see you back here tomorrow, same time, same place, for more sports betting action.